At dawn on March 9, 1916, the sleeping town of Columbus, New Mexico, suddenly woke to the thunder of hooves and gunfire. Mexican revolutionary Pancho Villa and more than 400 of his men had crossed the border, burning buildings and killing 19 Americans in a shocking mainland assault. But the raid was actually a military disaster for the invaders. The town fought back, and U.S. troops deployed machine guns that cut down nearly 200 of Villa's men in the streets. This seemingly suicidal assault baffled historians for decades. It sparked wild theories of madness or rumors of German bribery. For over half a century, one historical mystery remained unsolved. Why did he do it? The answer was left in the dirt. As the smoke cleared in Columbus, U.S. soldiers policing the debris discovered saddlebags belonging to a dead Villista officer. Inside, they found 2 large portfolios packed with documents. As this document notes, the captured papers were examined, forwarded to Washington, and vanished into the National Archives. Uncovered by historians in 1975, this primary material solves a major mystery, detailing the unfiltered reality of Villa's desperate final months. This physical evidence takes a mythic tale of border banditry and grounds it in reality, turning the legend into a forensic investigation of a crumbling revolutionary empire. By late 1915, Pancho Villa was no longer a triumphant hero leading a massive army. His military power was rapidly evaporating, and his remaining troops were exhausted. This telegram from a field commander pleads for help because locals absolutely refused their paper money. Villa's currency was completely worthless. To survive, he scavenged US dollars for basic supplies. Records show cash expenditures for 5,000 sets of underwear, flour, and sardines. These mundane receipts strip away the Robin Hood legend. They reveal a commander driven to the absolute edge of logistical and financial starvation. The cause of this financial ruin came from outside Mexico. In October 1915, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson officially recognized Villa's bitter rival as the de facto president of Mexico. That rival was Venustiano Carranza. Washington's backing permanently severed Villa's access to international legitimacy and, critically, closed the border to his American arms shipments. But the ultimate betrayal went much further. Washington permitted Carranza to use American railroad lines to transport thousands of troops through U.S. territory, completely bypassing Villa's defenses. To stage the ambush, Carranza's forces, led by General Alvaro Obregón, were waiting. Villa's traditional horseback cavalry charged straight into modern machine guns and barbed wire, resulting in a devastating slaughter. Villa viewed this slaughter as a deliberate national betrayal by the United States, an act of treachery that demanded violent retribution. The depth of that desire for revenge is outlined in a startling letter found among the captured saddlebags. It was written by Villa to the famous Southern revolutionary chieftain Emiliano Zapata. This letter outlines Villa's belief that Carranza secretly agreed to sell Mexican sovereignty for a massive U.S. loan. It then details Villa's master plan. He urged Zapata to unite their starving armies and invade the United States to attack the Americans in their own lairs. He knew he had no ships and barely any supplies, but the delusion persisted. This letter proves Villa's mindset had shifted from tactical military survival to a radicalized, apocalyptic crusade against a perceived eternal enemy. The contents of the saddlebags provide new clarity to the events of March 9th in Columbus. The attack was a calculated act of extreme political desperation. He retaliated for the railroad betrayal, launching a fatal gamble designed to spark a massive Mexican nationalist uprising against the United States. The raid served as the explosive climax for a warlord cornered by shifting geopolitics, an empty treasury, and a burning desire for vengeance. The immediate U.S. response was overwhelming. President Wilson ordered General John J. Pershing to lead a massive military force into Mexico to hunt down Villa. The punitive expedition introduced 20th century technology to the frontier, deploying airplanes, motorcycles, and supply trucks to chase horseback guerrillas across the desert. While Villa easily escaped into the rough terrain he knew so well, the sheer mechanization of Pershing's army officially signaled the death of the mythic Old West. The saddlebag documents serve as Villa's epitaph, proving that historical legends are the byproduct of complex politics, of desperate economics, and the visceral sting of betrayal.